Burnaby the Magician, where magic and comedy collide.
Come on!
As seen on America's Got Talent, Pawn Stars, and Masters of Illusion, with over 2 billion online views and over 3 million followers.
Unbelievable. Who doesn't love cool magic?
Oh, absolutely. And he's one of ours, sort of. Burnaby boy, Murray CHEK, is known as Murray the Magician. And this guy's a big deal.
He's a big deal.
He's had 65 million views on Facebook of his magic videos. He was a semifinalist on America's Got Talent. He had a residency at the Tropicana before it closed. I think it shut down in April or so. He's a stage illusionist and a comedian. Oh, and he's making headlines for being a bad boy. Check this out. People are angry because Murray and his wife put some simple fun videos online showing how some simple tricks were done. And oh my gosh, the people at the famous Magic Castle in Hollywood lost it and suspended him and said, "You can't do that." My goodness, he was pulling back the curtain.
Can't you find on YouTube ways of doing magic tricks? Like,
Probably.
I don't really get why the backlash, the TMZ backlash.
But it's kind of fun because a lot of people are
Sure.
talking about it and everybody loves magic. So we thought
We're talking
we would
about it.
reach out to Murray the Magician. Murray CHEK's joining us from Tahoe. Thanks so much for doing this, Murray.
How are you?
Good. Well, look at you just stirring the pot. I mean, how did it all kind of come crashing down where you realized people were mad about this?
It's so funny because, I've been doing these videos since 2015, like pranking cops or people that park bad or handicap people that shouldn't be parking in handicap spots, things like that. And so this is just another rendition of doing a ridiculous video. So my wife and I basically thought, we literally shot it in 6 minutes with my YouTube producer, Seth. And that's, of course, Vanishing the Flower right there. And these things I've been doing my show for years. And we did it. We uploaded it, not thinking anything of it. And then within about 2 or 3 hours, it did like 10 million views. And I think now it's up to like 70 million. So it's one of those things that kind of caught an algorithm and took off. And that was it. I thought nothing of it. And then I guess 20 or 30 magicians who are very purists and to feel that maybe we're still in 1936 felt it was pretty horrible what I did. So there we are.
But Murray, like, clearly people are interested when in a couple of hours you get that many views. What?
Yeah,
doesn't that do something positive for your industry?
It really does. I mean, when people asked what the backlash on this is, my bookings went up like times 3. Like literally I got calls all of a sudden to be booked in different, because it's harmless, and people forget that every day though I'm still doing magic every single night. Like tonight I'm opening at Lake Tahoe, I'm back in Vegas in a few months, but I work every night as a magician. So if anyone's gonna make fun of magic, it's me, because it's my business. I've been doing it since 7 years old from Vancouver, BC there. So if anyone can make fun of it, I think it should be me, and also it's not hindering my work. So if it's hindering anyone else's, then that should not be blamed on me, I think. So
Well, here's the other thing. When I watch some of the videos, and let's show the one where you're swallowing a sword, and I know that there's got to be a trick to it, but I don't know what it is, and I find it entirely fascinating to know what the trick is. And we're going to see your wife is playing the role of the spoiler coming up here, and she is going to show us what the trick is. That's your wife. Is it Danny? Yep, there we go.
Yeah,
okay.
That's so good. That is so good. I mean, and doesn't it really make the up-and-comers come up with new and improved ways to bewilder us with sleight of hand?
Well, of course, there's actually sword swallowers out there. Like you can actually swallow a sword. There's some very, very famous acts that are in shows, even in Vegas, that really do swallow a sword. And that's also why it's funny, because they really do the trick. But at the end of the day, too, is when you're a performer, it's all about your personality and what you're selling. I always said, Liberace I was a huge fan of, and he really wasn't the best piano player, a great piano player. But he found a hook. So did Victor Borgia, back in the day when he would make fun of playing piano. But you have to be really great at something before you can usually make fun of it. And it's like Lucy and Desi Arnaz when she made fun of him playing in the band. She'd come out with some tuba or falling through a set that he's trying to work on. So we basically stole that mentality and did it. If Lucy, was trying to fool around with Desi doing magic, how would she make that funny? And I think that's how she.
So who would have thunk? I mean, maybe you. I didn't know magicians were so precious, but the Magic Castle folks, this is big time, and they hauled you in. Tell us what happened. I mean, you had to actually go before a panel of people who were like, "Whoa, why did you do what you did?"
Yeah, well, they wrote me a letter and they said, you're no longer a member now, which is kind of not correct because you can't just write somebody a letter who's been a member for, over 27 years and say you're not a member anymore. But They sent that letter off, which started this whole thing, which I think they sent a little premature. Anyways, I was doing a podcast with Howie Mandel, another Canadian, and he's sitting there with me. He's a very dear friend. He said, I'm going to write a letter back, Howie. I can't be bothered with it. I'm just too busy. He said, no, you go in there and you talk to them. And I'm like, Howie, I got to fly in. I'm in Vegas. In the last 8 weeks, I really don't have a lot of time. I said, Murray, fly in, make the time, because talking to you in person is a lot different than writing a letter. You write a letter, they can just blow you off, and that's it. But when you walk in and actually share your views and thoughts, and that you're not doing this vindictively, you do think the Magic Castle is a wonderful place. You weren't doing it to harm anybody, honest to God. Everyone's taking this personally, and it had nothing to do with them. It had to do something with me and my wife and my Facebook and YouTube channel. That's all it had to do with. And so people are taking this on a personal level. And the sad thing is most of the people writing in and complaining aren't magicians that do magic full time and contain their lifestyle full time, driving their Mercedes-Benz and nice big homes. They're not doing tricks to pay for that. They own either insurance companies or they're bankers or they make money in another way. And they do magic as a hobby and they're very good, but they're not supporting their lifestyle 100% from doing what they do. Unlike
so what was the resolution when you did show up there in person? What did they say?
So we had a nice chat. I was given 20 minutes to talk, and we ended up talking for 90 minutes because the board was really nice. You remember, the board gets a letter, any board in the world, and then they just have to address it. So whether they like you or not, they still got to sit there and have a chat with you. So we actually had a really nice conversation because I know most of them, and I've been around a while, and I'm not a mean person or vindictive. So I just shared a lot of information. And I said, well, here's 2 or 3 TV shows right now that are airing magic online, and one of them happened to be a board member that was doing a show on Gordon Ramsay's show, Master Chef Junior, at the Magic Castle stage. And they revealed one of the secrets of magic, which is called a base in our business, on the Magic Castle stage 2 weeks before my meeting. And I was like, well, that's at the Magic Castle on national television, which is going to go syndicated all around the world because it's Gordon Ramsay. Yeah. So how is that okay? And I'm sitting here talking to you with these little tricks I got on Amazon to have some fun with my wife that literally took, a sneeze to produce, and I walked out of the room, we went and had lunch, and we went on with our lives, so.
But what's cool about it is that despite, the headlines and the sort of trouble with the Magic Castle, it sounds like you got, potentially millions of dollars worth of free advertising, and probably more people know who Murray the Magician is than might have known, last year.
Isn't that wild? Like we were talking before we rolled, when you do something super nice, you can save 100, you can save 100 dogs and all sorts of things. I'm a huge dog rescuer, and do all sorts of great things, and no one bats an eye because they expect you to do it because you're of that notoriety. And then you have a car crash, and you back into somebody leaving, and then all of a sudden you get on the news because they're are asking, why'd you do it and what happens. It's just the way life is, and it's humans, right?
We can't leave without a.
We need to see a trick. Can you do a quick trick for us?
Sure. All right, so here's the trick, all right? So I got a dollar bill. Obviously, it's an American one because I'm in the States right now.
Right.
And I'm going to fold this up, all right? You can see that pretty clean. There's that here. Fold it again, all right? And you fold it one more time like this, all right? You squeeze it really tight, and if you look really carefully, you slowly open this up like this, and like this, and like this. Look really carefully. There's a $100.
You come and visit us and keep doing that trick.
Wow.
Moment. Come on now.
We love magic. We love you. We think it's a fun story, even though, it's kind of a hassle maybe, but we're looking forward to finding out which hotel in Vegas you're going to be at for the new residency. But yes. Murray the Magician, Murray CHEK, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck to you.
Thank you for having me on, and I hope to see you back when I'm back in Vancouver.
Please, yes. What a blast. Thanks, Murray.
See you.
Oh, my gosh.
I think magic is fun.
Me too.
I need to learn just even a basic, simple card trick or whatever.
That's your challenge, Linda. Okay. You got 6 more shows this season.
You got to get Googling Murray the Magician.
Follow Murray. Hey, coming up, a honeymoon story lands in tonight's What the Hell. It involves an upgrade to business class that Leaves the bride in coach.
Yeah, maybe they won't be married that long. And up next, we're talking early onset dementia and how hard it is to take away a loved one's car keys after diagnosis. A local photographer is chronicling his wife's journey with the disease in a new photo exhibit, and you're going to meet him next.
Speaking of photos, viewing party pictures are in. Louise and Richard in North Saanich. Hello.
We have Wendy in Stevenson. Hi, Wendy.
Wendy was moving and still found time to watch
Right.
us. Sally in Nanaimo. Hey, Sally.
And Neelam. Hello to everyone, and thank you so much for the photos. Love it.
Love it. You can get in on it right now. Take a picture of you watching us. Send it to viewingparty@chekmedia.ca. Brought to you by the BCRFA.